On Tuesday mornings, as the sunlight polishes the water silver on a South African beach, a group of surfers gathers as much for the emotional benefits as for the physical ones. A surf shop there runs a program called Moms on Board. The wetsuits, surfboard rentals, and coaching are free, and the experience is described as an hour of sea therapy. This is where mental health becomes a priority for young mothers and grandmothers alike. Their children aren't allowed. It's meant to be a chance for the adults to learn a sport and support each other away from the pressures of parenting. Reuters News reports that many of these moms alter their work schedules so they could be here, and the ones who are free afterward go out for coffee to extend their time together. Cape Town's Muizenberg Beach is famously an ideal place for people to learn how to surf. This program's giving women an ideal chance to connect while sharing the solace of the sea. This is the world from A to Z with Coral Azuz. Welcome to the show. If you use the app Instagram and you're under 18 years old, you might have already noticed some changes the company's making to your account. New limits on it are designed to align with what you'd see in a PG-13 movie. What that means: posts that show drugs, alcohol, or extreme stunts are supposed to be weeded out. Certain search terms like gore will be blocked. Young users won't be able to follow accounts that have mature content. Why is this happening? Social media use among young people has been blamed for increases in depression, anxiety, exposure to harmful material, and accessibility to strangers. Companies like Meta, which owns Instagram, have been under pressure to make their platforms safer. And the head of Instagram announced on the Today Show that the PG-13 rating will help the company move toward its goal of, quote, protection for teens, peace of mind for parents. But he also said Instagram would never get to where mature content is completely blocked for young users. And there has been criticism of social media protection tools. Some studies have found they're ineffective. Instagram says parents can choose stricter limits than the PG-13 ones or to remove the new limits by opting out, but that teens won't be able to do that themselves without parental permission. Next, as we are in the midst of National School Lunch Week, which draws attention to America's lunch programs, we're featuring a story about an initiative in New York City where high school students recently competed to concoct a culinary creation that would be featured on lunch menus. They managed to cook up some extra skills along the way.
At Francis Lewis High School, students spent months developing dishes that met the city's strict nutrition standards. The winning creations, honey garlic chicken with broccoli and a Greek-inspired cucumber salad, are now being served in every school cafeteria across the city.
Every week there would be a new recipe. They would come up with it, they would present it, they would cook it, they would scale it down with sugar, salt ratios, and then the staff would try it.
How have you seen the students grow through this program?
Teamwork, creativity, leadership. These kids wouldn't be where they are now without this program. We tried to run this kitchen just like any professional kitchen. Maybe some of them will take this to move forward, to feed themselves during college, or get a job, or even go into the industry.
A lot of kids, I feel now, they rely on their parents. So when I do move out, I already have a lot of life skills, a lot of responsibility, because that's what you do need in the kitchen. It has honestly helped me focus a lot. It's kept me off my phone. I love how it's hands-on.
The program aligns with New York City Mayor Eric Adams' push for healthier school food, part of a broader citywide effort to reduce sodium, sugar, and processed ingredients. But some critics say the mayor's healthy eating agenda leads to nutrition gaps, logistical and economic concerns, and plain just doesn't taste good.
We have the largest school district in the country, as you know. We also have the most prohibited ingredient list. And what that means is we have low sugar, low sodium, and we prohibited a bunch of different things in our menu and in our food products. We want to make sure they're not just eating healthy, but they understand why to eat healthy. The only way to really improve our menu is to have student feedback. And what better way to have student feedback than to have them develop recipes for our menu?
Word of knowledge. On October 15th, 1783, a teacher in France became the first person to do what? Develop calculus, fly in a balloon, introduce the bicycle, invent a soft drink. Those sparkling drinks were sold that year This was the date when a Frenchman became the first human to fly in a balloon, a tethered flight that further proved the technology.
On this date in world history, the world's first transatlantic flight arrived in New Jersey on October 15, 1928, but it wasn't made on a plane. The Graf Zeppelin was a German airship that had flown to the U.S. from Europe. The flight wasn't a smooth one. Repairs were needed in the air after Atlantic storms damaged one of the airship's fins. But after 4.5 days aloft, the ship's crew and passengers safely landed on American soil. Like yesterday's date in world history, another pair of Nobel Peace Prizes were announced on October 15th. One in the year 1990 went to Mikhail Gorbachev, the leader of the Soviet Union, for his efforts to open up his communist country's society and relieve tensions from the Cold War. Another in the year 1993 went to South African President F.W. de Klerk and then activist Nelson Mandela. They were recognized for their efforts to end apartheid, a national policy of racial segregation, and work toward peace and democracy in South Africa. What day is it? On October 15th, 1582, some Europeans had no idea what day it was. When the Catholic Church transitioned from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian one, an adjustment had to be made to correct a timing issue with the spring equinox. 10 days had to be lost to do this, and October was picked as the month for the change. If you scroll back on an iPhone to this date in 1582, you'll see the calendar goes right from October 4th to October 15th, a historic leap of 10 days to the calendar we still use now.
Where in the world? This is an island surrounded by 3 oceans, the Indian, the Pacific, and the Southern. It's off the southeast coast of Australia, separated from the mainland by the Bass Strait. Some may know its name by the devilish creature that lives there. This is Tasmania, an Australian state with more than 500,000 residents.
Trumpets, trombones, and tubas. These folks have been playing brass band classics in Tasmania for a while. In fact, this band is celebrating its 146th birthday. But as it makes its run to reach 150, most of the members are getting up in years too. A majority are in their 70s. 14 students from a nearby primary school have eagerly joined in and become a vital part of the ensemble, bringing new life to the band, and in exchange they get free music lessons and some free treats. Each student is paired with an older mentor, like Zoe and Richard here.
I absolutely love him. He's also quite a character as well. Very funny, obviously. I think he's kind of rubbed off on me a bit, because
I'm sorry to hear that. I just can't play till I'm 120. It's not going to be feasible, I don't think so.
The mentoring formula has proven effective. Already 2 of the older children are proficient enough to play in the senior band.
They can't get a note, but then they get a note, and then they get several others, and away they go, and before we know it, they're playing a tune.
If you live in the Midwest or follow college football, you might know right away that the Cornhusker State is none other than Nebraska. That's where Mr. Wolf's class is watching from Elkhorn Middle School. A warm welcome to all our viewers in Elkhorn. Over in Pennsylvania, the community of Holland is where you'll find Council Rock High School South. Great to see the Golden Hawks watching there in Mr. Rupp's class. And Dutchtown High School is in Hampton, Georgia. Hello to Mr. Davis and all the Bulldogs online with the World from A to Z. Last story's about a race where the fastest runner does the 40 in 4.4, but its front end crosses the finish well before its rear does. Germany's sausage dog races, which celebrate all the awesomeness of dachshunds, included more than 100 dogs from several different European countries. Some of the animals were less competitive than others, and for the human observers who prefer fancier footwork, there were other displays of animal athleticism like dog dancing. And think of the dance possibilities. The Cha-Cha-Wawa, the Dober Running Man, the Mamborzoi, Ballet Glen Terrier, Salsa Lukey, the Irish Stepper, King Charleston, the Hokey Puggy. It's twice the feet when you've got twice the feet, even if it leaves those dogs barking. I'm Carl Azuz for The World from A to Z. We hope you enjoyed the show. You mean the world to me.